We are in 2026. Okay. I started one down in 80, oh no, in 96, in 1996, 30 years ago. 30 years ago. Okay. And I just told somebody, I've been telling myself and I've been telling people, no, not people, just a couple, 26 is a transition year for me. For me and what I'm connected with. 2026 is a guaranteed transition year. And here's why I say that. In 1986, okay, in 1986, when I turned 14 years old, in 1986, I was 14. We moved to Ontario. That was a big change because my mom was getting us out of LA because of the crack epidemic. Okay. And the effects that it had put us in a position that she needed to relocate. So in 86, she moved us to Ontario. 1986, moved to Ontario. 1996, 10 years later, I started something that I had no idea would lay the foundation for the rest of my life when I started one down in 1996. That's 10 years later, 1996. 10 years after that, 2006, I incorporated the motorcycle club into one down in 2006. 10 years after that, 2016, relocated the motorcycle club to Riverside, California. A big situation of actually buying this building, buying the property, and, making one down a staple in the city of Riverside in 2016. Now, 2026 is where we're at now. And I have been, enjoying this podcast lifestyle once a week. But I knew, and I started that in October of 2025. But now we're sitting May of 2026. Okay. And over the last couple of years, I've been, going through a transition with my motorcycle club and watching, its flow. But over the past several years, I've been watching, of course. But the last couple of years, I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Okay. I love the motorcycle lifestyle. Okay. Now, I say that because there's a separation that I can say I'm not with the bullshit in the motorcycle lifestyle. I'm not with the dumb shit, the fuckery, the bullshit, the unnecessary stuff, the shit that could have been prevented. I'm not with all that. And that's why I do my best, my very best, to stay away from it, keep my club away from it, and keep that shit away from me and my club. Keep it away from us, we stay away from it. So this is why I can constantly embrace and love the motorcycle lifestyle, because I've made it a point to stay very defensive on how we move and keep a good name about myself and my club. And so I've been brainstorming, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, what I should do, you know, and my whole life is one down, you know. That's what people know me of, you know. That's been my track record. That's been the history that I've been building, you know, to be able to be blessed and privileged enough to, you know, have my club, you know, and its likeness featured on the absolute biggest motorcycle club television show ever in history. For me personally, and the club brothers that were in my club at the time have the opportunity to be on the show, and my club be on that show. And my club was featured for the likeness on the show as the Grim Bastards, our same color, everything. You know, the love was there, the embracement. You know, that says something, that means something. And I say that because, you know, there's things that's making me, you know, that's continuing to bound me to one down. I created it, but it don't mean that I can't dissolve it and start something else. I've seen plenty of people start a club and they walked away from it to go join another club. But for me, I've experienced what it's like to be in a one club, one chapter club. I've experienced that. But I haven't experienced being in a club that has chapters throughout the United States. I haven't experienced that, you know. But I have been privileged to still travel the United States with the amazing club that I do fellowship with. But I'm not in that club. I'm enjoying the lifestyle with them. But at the end of the day, that's their club. But it's provided me a vessel to take part in traveling. So I appreciate that. But what is it like to be part of a big club that has chapters in different states and you are truly connected to it? You're in it. You're a member. I haven't experienced that. So I can say this because in my club, I put in 20 years. In one down, I've put in 30 years. From 96 to 2006, one down, 30 years strong. And I found myself saying, you know, do I look at the possibility? Do I look at other clubs? Do I look at other clubs? And I'm not against that, but I'm against the drama, the bullshit. It comes with it. Even my club, you know, we got low numbers. The drama and bullshit is still there, you know. It just comes with it. And drama and bullshit can just be, you know, somebody not being able to make it. That's the biggest problem we got. You know, that's it. You know. And big clubs, they wish they just had that. And so do I find myself joining another club and just knowing what I signed up for? You know, I could do that. I could do it. Or do I continue to hold on to one down, MC, and reinvent it? And reinvent one down, as I've done for the past 30 years. yes, I can do that. And where am I at truly? I'm at home. I'm at home doing it. I don't have a problem becoming a soldier in somebody else's nation. And I say that because the facts are shown with my club. I took it upon myself years ago, after what I was experiencing, that I didn't want to deal with anymore. When people walk up to us at motorcycle club events, they'll look and they patch checking, they looking for the president. And then as soon as they see me, oh, how you doing, man? How you doing, P? You know, and then they're disregarding my other members. These are patch holders. We all stand 111% together as one. And I didn't like it. So I took president off of me, because if somebody walk up, they're going to treat us all with respect. And who's the president ain't important. It ain't your business. State your business. And we'll see if it has any deserving for you to know who you need to talk to. I say everything that I'm saying coming from, 30 years of running one down. And even before that, if anybody in here from my high school, I was, always in the front because I deserve it and I earned it. Football, team captain. I started every position I played. In high school, we had a posse called JLP, Just Loke Posse. I was, top dog in that. So this ain't new for me. And I say that because you got people in big nation clubs. This motherfucker work at Best Buy. He just got a bike, 2 weeks ago. End up joining a big national club. And, short time later, he a president of a chapter. And he think he the baddest motherfucker in the world. But we all know, I know who the fuck that goofy motherfucker is. I know that being in a motorcycle club, it's in my heart and soul. I'm gonna check out some of this, what somebody wrote. Couple of things people wrote. Just watching you because I've been in motorcycle club and organization. I don't belong to any at the moment. I got to know about you in the Chevrolet Bright Drop group with your One Down logos. Right on, brother. Bro, that is close to how it is when you start small church. The mess, the members not coming. I had the same thought of just joining another church. Got to be one down for yourself. Right on. Oh, what up, James? I'm going to show a picture of James, y'all. He got his One Down support shirt on today. I'm going to show y'all James. That's right. Keep it logical, man. That's D right there. But, and that's the strengthening breaking point of, where do you stand? Do you stand on me having enough confidence in myself that for the most, I can single-handedly rebuild this motorcycle club and give it my effort? And do I subject myself to embarrassment? Or do I find it possibly easier to dissolve my club and go join another motorcycle club? Much love to all the motorcycle clubs out there. It's a lot to choose from. But I've been around so long, I know more than the average person who's looking for a club. Most people who looking for a club, most people have never joined a club. So they don't know the the ins and outs, the backstory, they don't know. So they end up joining a club and finding out it ain't the club for them. There's a ton of clubs out there that I think might work for me. But there are things that they might do, they might represent, they might get twisted up with here and there, or places they go and how they move, how they dress, how they carry themselves, their reputation, that just don't jive with me. But I'm cool with them. So me coming to the final solution for me, reinvent my motorcycle club. Reinvent it with knowing everything I know now. And creating a club that's fun, simple, and safe. Fun, simple, and safe. Because everything is already here. Everything is here. The reputation of the club is here. The recognition is here. The colors are solid. The clubhouse is solid. Being a programmed club, being programmed and having a program is here. And me knowing what to expect nowadays is important. What to expect nowadays is important. I can vouch for Goldie's leadership, even in the semi-football pro team in the early 90s, always a captain and a leader. Man, thank you very much, bro. Mike, I appreciate that, man. So with all that being said, today was my first day that I pushed some literature through social media. And what I'm saying on this is something that I wasn't too sure if I was going to get that deep into it. Because I know people look at me and they just, say that dude is one down for life. I can't even picture him going nowhere else. I remember there's a dude, I'm going to tell you this. There's a dude that has been in probably 9 fucking clubs. Now, if you are connected to this lifestyle, you know exactly who the fuck I'm talking about. There's a dude who's been in about 9 clubs. Okay. I don't have contact with him at all. At one point, we had contact, but I do not have zero contact with him at all nowadays at all. But back a while ago, and I would say this probably was a few years ago, I had mentioned this to him in the first beginning of my thoughts of probably looking at another club. To my surprise, this dude went berserk in a certain type of way. No, he didn't go. He was just like, what? He's like, man, fuck no. No. He was so fucking against it. And I'm glad he voiced it, but I was surprised to hear that from him as what we would call a club hopper. But I'm sure he would get offended by that phrase but he's been in several different clubs trying to find something that works for him. But I was surprised to hear him say that, you know. He said, somebody said, yes, we all know. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, again, that person coming from him telling me, don't let this go. I was surprised, you know. And in my opinion, for all the bad choices that person done made, he gave me good advice that still sticks with me, you know. And I would say there's probably plenty of people who probably feel that same way. But that's somebody that I told probably the first. And that's somebody who I thought would give me the encouragement because he's a club hopper to do it. So 2026 is my goal to, you know, reinvent One Down MC with, you know, a structure, a game plan for membership that will embrace certain people. You know, these are people who either you know about the lifestyle or you don't. And that's just the two categories. But I just say that so you know. And you know the difference in this club and what this club has to offer. You know, we're not under no organization. We're not under no association. And what that means is we do what we want to do. We go where we want to go. When we want to go. We are good with all clubs. We are good with black clubs, Mexican clubs, white clubs. Our name is clean. I just say rebuild One Down is one of a kind. So what about low key keep One Down going? Thank you, Spot Bill. Sorry, I was stuttering when I was reading that. And people to know that this is a club that is ran with class. It's a club with class. I'm not going to say ran with class. This is a club with class. This is a club that moves forward with respect. This is a club that we ain't in no competition with nobody. We don't give a fuck, never have, what no other club is doing and how they doing it. We don't give two shits. You know, if we go to somebody's event, it's simply because we chose to go, not because we went to theirs and we want y'all to come to ours. Not at all. We done did everybody a favor. And you know what? We don't have events. Simple as that. We got fellowship every other Friday night. And that's just where, hey, we kick it. And, you know, fellowship. But this barter system, we don't get involved with it. And this thing that people do, let me see, with you know, throwing annual events, that's a beautiful thing. Okay. But I have not and will not ever get involved with anything that questions the financial trust of One Down MC. I've never played with money, and I'll never play with people's money. You know, one of the biggest, amazing events on the set was January 2011 when I threw a big party at our clubhouse in Ontario. Huge. Everybody showed up, you know. And for those of you who were there and took part, you remember that. And I didn't charge a penny. It was a blessing to have a relationship with so many people. We wanted to give back. Come celebrate with us. You know, didn't charge nothing. That's how I feel, you know. That's just how I do stuff. And you have other clubs that have to do stuff to generate revenue. So be it. This thing that people say, you know, man, I ain't just got the time, man, to really dedicate to a club. You know, when they say that, they just looking at, fuck, that's the rest of my life, you know. Now that I'm 54 years old, ain't nobody doing shit for life. I am, but I ain't going to expect that out of nobody else, you know. So for me, with one down, I'll say it publicly. You come this way, I'm just looking for 5 years. Just give the club 5 years, okay? And I'll even help you realize how quick 5 years is. You know, look how near COVID feel like it was when we was on the lockdown. That was over 5 years ago. Over 5 years ago. So to keep it transparent and solid, this is what I'm going to push for membership with my club. Just give us 5 years. After the 5 years is done, you can walk. You can walk from it with of course, no hard feelings. You served your 5 years. If life, your domestic relationship, work, kids have not become a factor and you want to continue after your 5 years, then bring it. But at 5 years, you can walk. And I embrace you for giving me and this club 5 years of your life. And if you got to move on, so be it. If you move on to another club, I'm good with that because you gave us 5. And that's a good thing. And like I tell people, these motorcycle clubs, they're relationships. Okay? And not everybody is made to be in a long relationship. Some people hop relationships. And then you got people who hop club relationships. And so for me, this is what I've learned and what I'm going to bring to the table and being fair with it. Give us 5 years and we good. And if you want to keep rocking after that, we keep rocking. And so what I will come up with is the decision after 5 years, you know, to go, if you stay, you staying for another 5, or after you give your 5, you know, we just go year for year. And this is me just being real with it. I'm here for life. I am. Now, if I ever get some cats that want to stand on that, then hey, just rock it 5 years at a time. You know, this is a club that has everything. But there's too many people out there who are just finding themselves intimidated for whatever reasons. And I'm going to say this, and I am thankful and blessed that the spirits have protected us. And I pray that the spirits continue to bless us. This is a motorcycle club. And as well as one down, the umbrella, 20 years and 30 years, never, ever, ever has anyone in my club never passed away. We've never had not one death. Not one death ever. Never, ever, ever had a club funeral. I'm blessed and thankful for that. Never, ever, ever has a member ever caught a criminal charge ever while being in my club. Never. And I'm proud of that and I'm happy for it. I say that because it means something to me. I say that because as a president and founder of this club, I get knee deep involved with where are we going, who's going to be there. And I do everything I can to avoid conflict, bullshit, drama, dumb shit. I don't need it. I don't want it. And I don't want nobody in my club stumbling on that. Like I tell people in my club, listen to me how I'm saying this. I don't ever want to meet your mama or your daddy. I don't ever want to meet them. Because technically, in most cases, that's when shit got twisted up. Okay? I tell people, when you walk through this door at the clubhouse, the light goes on. This is one downtime. Leave all your personal family, work, shit out this club life. Leave it out. I don't bring mine to the club. I never have. I never will. So this club is a sacred ground. And I'm a president that throughout all these years, if you ever meet anybody who was in my club, you ask them, your prayers ever come to your house? They're gonna say, nope. I don't get involved with people's personal shit. I don't need to go to your house. I don't want to go to your house. My lifestyle with you, the primary is here in one down. That's my concern. If you have a personal issue outside of this club that you want to ask my advice on or something like that, I'll chat with you. But I am not directly interested in what's going on with your life. I tell people, handle your fucking work life, handle your domestic life, keep that shit out this fucking club. Keep it out of the club. When you come to one down, man, just know when you wake up on that Sunday, oh, that's the holiday. Every Sunday, it's the holiday. I look forward to it every fucking Sunday. 52 holiday Sundays a year, And so with that being said, I've learned that, and I respect it, people got jobs. People got jobs Monday through Friday, and some people work Saturday, So your only obligation is just a Sunday. That's it. 4 days out the month. 4. We got a mandatory, but the other Sundays, technically it ain't mandatory, but it's mandatory in your heart. Okay? It's something you should look forward to every fucking Sunday. No matter what you planning, your Sunday is called one down. It's called one down. So this club, I want to market this to people who really got their shit together. Not the person who wants to be out there on the set, jumping around, going to different clubhouses and events every night, every other night. If you want that, I'll point you to those clubs where to go. You know, this is for people who got responsibilities. They truly do. And they want to be part of a mature club that truly gets together on a Sunday and go fellowship. Okay. And Sunday, the whole day, the night, you dedicate that to your club. You dedicate that to your club. If you're single and you're not in a domestic relationship with nobody, you call your own shots. Okay? You're a grown-ass adult. If you are in a relationship, okay, in a relationship, and you're a grown-up, what the fuck you look like not being able to say, I'll be with my club today? This person you dating is just another human being. If they got jealousy problems, then that's going to keep you from even reaching out to one down. But don't reach out knowing this jealous ass person you seeing is going to eventually put you in some type of ultimatum situation or some bullshit like that. This is for people who really standing on a man. This is an all man's club. Okay. But I say this. Something that has never been done is in the makings. Point blank. Something that's never been done. Okay. I desire for my club to be recognized, respected, and acknowledged for being a cool club. Point blank. You know, if you're looking for a club that hangs out at bars, this is not the club. It's not the club. 85% of shit that pop off in club life crack off at bars. So never in the history of One Down have my members been people who desire to hang out at bars. So if you're that type of person, then this club is not a good fit for you, because we do not hang out at bars, you know, in our cuts, looking for trouble or trouble stumped into us. No, if you want to drink and hang out, you're more than welcome to come to the clubhouse. Point blank. That's what it's for. This is a very, very fun, mature club that moves on respect. When we show up, our energy has always been something that's top notch. People know, man, I love seeing them cats. They come with respect and they leave with respect. That's our duty. That's all we gonna do. I aim to rebuild One Down and rebuild it with people that, as everybody want to say, man, I just want to ride and have a good time. That's truly what I stand on. Most people say that after they get their ass twisted up in some bullshit. And that's everything that we stay away from. So a simple club, fun and simple. Sundays is our day. You take those 6 days and you do whatever you want to do with them. Now, in the future of being in the club, if there's something scheduled for us for a Saturday, oh, it'll come out way in advance. Way in advance. And if you are the type of person who got Saturday and Sunday available, fuck yeah. Team up with some brothers in the club that also got something available on Saturday, and y'all can go connect. But don't let that interrupt your Sunday. Just bring it right on back on Sunday. But that's extra effort and energy that you putting into it, but knowing you got that option there because now you connected with a club. Whites can join the club. Mexicans can join the club. Blacks can join the club. Polynesians can join the club. When I say Mexicans, you got people who look Mexican that say, I ain't Mexican. Hispanics, Chicano, whatever you want to call it, open. I don't have nothing against nobody's skin color or nationality. No cops, no law enforcement can join my club. Not at all. There's places for cops, law enforcement, plenty of clubs for them to go to. I don't have nothing against them, but this is just not the club for law enforcement. This is a heterosexual motorcycle club. I'm not homophobic, but this is just not the club for a homosexual person. This is a very man motorcycle club. And if a homosexual man was looking for a club, I can name those clubs, but I'm not. But if you contact me and you let me know that that's the side of the tracks you're on, I'll point you to them. Let me read some of this. I be all over California up till 3 a.m. and I still find my way to our clubhouse so I can ride with y'all on Sunday Fun Day. No excuses. That's right. That's right, Goldie. Oh, what's up? Good to see you in here, brother. What if your member gets an invite and want to take a ride with another club on the set on a Saturday? So I'm glad you asked that. If my member and my club get an invite from another motorcycle club to go do something on Saturday, my member is going to let me know where the invite came from, where they're going, okay? And with where they're going and who it came from, that's going to determine everything, okay? Because the person who's asking this question, you know just as well as I do, there are some clubs you wouldn't even want your patch holder to take part in with another club going to do something. So everything has to go up the chain for approval. So will my member be able to go function with another club to go do something? Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay. But the way we move in this club from day one, you ain't going to ever see, one down at an official motorcycle club event by himself. Never. So that would also determine if I would have another patch holder from my club to participate with his brother to go on an event, a ride with another club. So the answer to that is yes. With that invite being extended to the patch holder in my club for him to bring one of his club brothers. Yes. And in most cases, if I'm available, shit, I'm going too, so my club, I'm going to put into it and market my club to those also who just been through the bullshit. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of good cats out there. A lot of good cats who been through the bullshit and they done with it. And club life left a bad taste in their mouth, but they're good, solid members, and they were. And I want them to hear this and know that you can reinvest that energy, that time, that effort, that club love you got back into one down MC that ain't with the bullshit, ain't with the shenanigans. Truly a club that gets together, likes to have fun, go ride, and enjoy the lifestyle. And not all people have the time to go to all these different states because they have chapters out there. Again, this is a club, one down, that is a one club, one chapter club located right here in Riverside. And we do not have obligations to attend other states for our other chapters. This is a club that will, service the needs to people that just really don't have the ability, the scheduling to be out all the time and go to different states and stuff like that, So can you be a club that's local to California only for the most? Yeah. Fuck yeah, you can. Because a club, what is it truly about? Brotherhood, So now, us as a club, can we take part with another club and go to New York? Fuck yeah, we've done it. Go to Cabo, yeah. Denver, yeah. But your true obligation is just local right here. Chris asked something else. What up, Moon? Good to see you, man. Thank you for tapping in. Chris asks, I asked that in case someone else was thinking it and wanted to know. I can agree with your assessment. You're usually on live when I'm in the middle of work, so I rarely catch up. Right on, brother. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you asking that, And there's not one question that's ever asked that somebody else wasn't thinking, So I'm glad you said that. Somebody else said, interesting person you are, brother. Keep building and keep growing. God bless you and your club. Probably at Daytona. Would love to meet you guys. I'm sure as you are cool, your group too. Right on. Thank you, bro. Thank you very much. And I know that One Down MC has a lot to offer, and I pray and I look forward to, building and rebuilding my club membership. People know back in the day as a one club, one chapter, when we was, in the membership of having 40 cats, that's a hell of a, position to hold as one club, one chapter. And that's something that I do want to revisit and live that life. And in a mature way, because that's what people looking for. They're not looking for, the immature immature bullshit. No, everybody's done with that, so I want this message to reach everybody, and if you watching this, please spread the word. When you see somebody looking for a club that's righteous, that ain't got no bullshit, they got a cool, easy program, a cool schedule, point them this way, and especially if you knowing this is a person you don't want to see get twisted up in the bullshit out there that does happen. Do I have respect for all clubs? Yes, I do. I ain't got nothing against no club. No club ain't never done nothing to me. No club has never done nothing to me. I don't put myself in a position to have something done to me or my members at all. And that's the way it's always going to be. I have to make sure that if somebody that came through this club, and I tell people, you can only hold your breath for so long, okay? Point blank. And I tell people, this club life, and especially One Down, it's going to either bring out the man in you or the bitch in you. That's only two things that's going to happen. It's going to bring out the man in you or the bitch in you. And the men are still here. Point blank. In closing to this, I'm going to say this. And this was something that I found extremely disappointing. Okay? Extremely disappointing. And disappointment, it runs hand in hand with this lifestyle. And if you've been around long enough, you will fully agree with me. He said, I know your get down. Y'all need to make your way to Arizona. I'll open the doors and your money is no good. That's a beautiful thing, man. So thank you very much for saying that, bro. That's beautiful. And I want to thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you for saying that. And I know you speak from the heart. I know you stand on what you say. So thank you. What up, CJ? What up, Carl? So I'm going to say this and then I'm going to cut this because I appreciate y'all hanging in there. We had an hour and 40 minutes. And this is something that disappointed me. Okay? Disappointed me. But it gave me strength to stand, to continue to stand upright. Okay? And I'm using social media because that's where everybody's at. You know, if I can fucking tell everybody this Saturday at 1 p.m., I need everybody to come out in person to hear what I have to say, I'd rather do that. But social media is how people tap in. You got people at work right now. You got people driving home. You got people in the middle of shit. And this is where it's at. It's more convenient. So my personal experience of one of the things, you get a lot of disappointment in this lifestyle. But for me, it doesn't outweigh the good. Okay. And I'll tell you, anything that really disappointed me, I saw it in the beginning with that person, but I wanted to give the motherfucker a chance. Point blank. I saw it, but I wanted to give them a chance. I wanted to give them a chance to become a fucking man, you know? So, I can say this. What's up, bro? Thank you for tapping in, man. I can say this. I think this the brother right here who just sent me a on the contact form. You know, man got a lot of love and want to join the club, but he's in Florida. If this is you, bro, and all I can say is, man, just relocate to California, bro. Relocate to California, and I stand on it. You know, I'll help you with your moving situation. But thank you very much for tapping in. So this right here was something that happened with me directly. Okay. With me directly. Oh, he's in Cali? I thought he said Florida. Were you the one that sent in the message to me? Let me know that. If so, yeah, I'm gonna call you after this. If that contact is for you. Why would I speak club business? One, to say I don't. Oh, he in LA. Okay, yes. I'm gonna call you when I'm done with this, bro. Much love. So this happened with somebody who's no longer in my club. And I want to say this without making it look like I'm dry snitching on that person, because I will not disclose who that person is. But the reason I say this is the disappointment is actually something that I learned from. Okay. And what does it fall back on? Trust. Trust. Now, I brought somebody into my club. Okay. And in this club life, you meet so many fucking different motherfuckers. So many different men and some motherfuckers. Whether they're in your club or not in your club. And this person, my club, gonna know who the fuck I'm talking about. My club will know who I'm talking about. Okay. This person, if he ever sees this, will know who the fuck I'm talking about. Okay. But it's not me needing to scrub that person through the mud. It's just the back end story that disappointed me. I bring this person into my club, and this person, had came to look at my club lightly. Then they ended up joining another club. Okay. And I already told them, oh, no, go that way. One down gonna always be here. Make one down your last choice because we here. It's just like a relationship. Whether it's a chick or a dude, go on and smash everybody you need to smash. When you're done learning them streets, I'll be right here. So this person joins this other club and finds it to be a bad experience. And we talk about it, tell them, well, if you're going to step out righteously and lay your colors down and, give it some downtime. We did that. Then he went through his prospecting phases with me, And during that time, you get to learn about this person. Is the club going to be right for them? Are they going to be right for the club? But unfortunately, in some cases, when somebody has an agenda, they will lie and tap dance all the way through. But like I say, you can only tap dance for so long. You can only hold your breath for so long. So with this person coming through, of course, I noticed all kind of shit, And there were some features about this person that wasn't going to jive with this club. So these features, we had to tend to those features. Okay, that's done. Features about this person. Now, later, a lot of stuff that I'm noticing, had to talk to this person like, hey man, I don't know how you was brought up, but there's some things that we got to address now because you are a reflection of this club. And I feel weird coming at you like this because, at this point, we in our 40s, okay? And this person is actually a couple of years older than me. So I have to tell this person, listen, whenever you come here, you need to start taking a shower. You need to clean yourself. You need to take a shower. You need to groom yourself and clean your body with soap and shower. And you need to start brushing your teeth every day. You have to use toothpaste and a toothbrush and brush your teeth. And they're sitting in front of me just nodding. And I say, I don't feel good having to tell you this at all. But let me ask you, why are you living like this as a man? So this person tells me, well, my mom never pressed or made it a point or made it an issue for me to take a shower or a bath. And my mom never made it an issue for me to brush my teeth. And so I'm sitting here and I don't find this funny. I'm not doing it to poke at this person. I find this fucking horrible of this woman to have a child and this person then went through their whole fucking life not brushing their teeth, not cleaning their mouth, not showering and bathing daily at all. Okay. So immediately in my head, I'm like, okay, well, we got a job, me and this person in front of me. And I fucking hope I don't fucking say this person's name by accident. So, well, from this day on, you have to brush your teeth every day, and for sure before you fucking come here. And start showering every day, and for sure before you come here. And because you do have a job and resources, you need to get to the fucking dentist. Okay? And start that process. So this person was somebody, when you at my table and you under my umbrella, I'm looking out for you. This is one down. We family, I'm going to look out for you. When shit goes bad, I'm cutting everything. You know, so when you in my club and you in my club, you in my life, I'm extending my resources. I'm investing into you. And I tell people when they come to this club, when you come to this club, whenever you leave for whatever reason, you're going to leave here with more than you came with. Guaranteed facts. This club will change your fucking life. You're going to leave here with way more than what you came with. And what you learn from me is going to last you the rest of your life. And that's priceless. So I carry on with this member in the club. And here and there, giving them advice, building this man, turning this person into a man that his own mama fucked up on. Okay? Failed at. And there wasn't a father in his household. The mom had a step, the mom had a dude, but he didn't connect with him. So he didn't have a man figure in the house, and his mom failed. So I end up, which I'm okay with, trying to turn grown-ass people into men. I end up fathering these situations. And so this person, you get to learn people, okay? And a night happened, I started to experience, when this person drinks, he gets fucking way out of line. Extremely way out of line, extremely disrespectful. Extremely disrespectful. And some shit popped off regarding his drinking one time. It was ugly, embarrassing, stupid. Had a chat with him on it. Then it happened again lightly. Had a chat with him on it. Then it happened one night with just me and him. And when it happened, I was extremely, extremely, extremely mad. And the only reason I didn't find myself not sleeping in my own bed that night and catching a case was because I had enough shit that I've been through and enough power to be able to apply it to myself to not catch a case that night. And he was 1,000% drunk in the wrong, but being so coherent on his disrespect towards me with his mouth and knowing that we were in public. So I knew the next day was Sunday Fun Day. So I knew he was supposed to show up for Sunday Fun Day. So I pull up the next day. I'm still mad as fire. Mad. I had every vision of how I was going to handle this. I pull up. I see him with some bros in the parking lot. I greet my bros. And when it came time to greet him, I didn't greet him. And I'm not that type of person, but I knew that he didn't deserve for me to greet him on how we greet each other. So all I told him was, get the fuck in the clubhouse. So we go into the clubhouse, and I lock the door, and I lock both doors. And I say to him, I said, bring all that disrespect and all that energy you was flexing last night right here, right now. I said, talk exactly the way you were talking to me in public. I said, these doors are locked, and these are some witnesses right here. I said, I want you to flex that same energy. Oh, what are you talking about? I said, man, it ain't gonna happen like that. I said, I'm very fucking upset, and I came here today to basically fuck you up. Yes, you in my club, you my club brother. I ain't ranking no position of who the fuck I am in this, but I'm a man. And what you did last night was fully disrespectful. And what it was over $20. $20. I paid for his valet, not knowing that it was already paid for. I find out that night that it was paid for. I ask him for the $20 back. He says, fuck no, I'm not giving you that back. That's how it happened. Out of the blue. I didn't expect that from him. And I was like, what the fuck you mean? Well, I mean, it was paid for. You gave it to me, so it is what it is. And I'm telling y'all, if there was no laws, shit would have been bad. There's a reason there's laws out there. So back to, in the clubhouse. He's trying to pretend like, it's not, like he apologizes. Fuck that. That apology ain't working. Fuck you. What you did was some bitch ass shit. And so he had a knife on him. And so I tell him, take that fucking knife off and put it on the ground. So that's still a grown man. That's still a grown man. Was he supposed to take the knife off? Fuck no. Okay. But what does he do? He takes the fucking knife off, puts it on the ground. And like I said, I ain't ranking on this, me being president or founder of the club. I'm a grown man. Did I have something on me? Fuck no. No, nothing. Put the fucking knife on the ground. And now he's not full of liquor. And remember, I don't drink or smoke. And I tell people that. So everything that pops off, just know I'm coherent. Ain't nothing gonna be misunderstood by me. So he puts the knife down. And now I'm seeing, without the liquor, the fear in his eye. And I tell him, what you did last night still got to be squared up, And so my anger is so beyond the red zone. Now I tell him, no. So what I did was, I said, motherfucker, I grabbed him and I snatched his cutoff. When I snatched his cutoff, I threw it on the ground. And so what am I doing? I'm trying to pull a beast out of his ass. I'm trying to pull a monster out of him. But him being sober, now I'm seeing the bitch in him. And like I said, this club, this lifestyle, it's going to either pull the man out of you or it's going to pull the bitch out of you. So as tough as this dude always tried to act, when shit got real, I found myself being so disappointed that he was standing on foolery and fakery even before the drunk night on how he wanted to act. And so when I snatched his cut off and I threw it on the ground, I lost respect for him. He didn't do a fucking thing. Nothing. And so at that moment, it told me who the fuck he really was, you know? And so what I did was I told him, I said, listen, man, you know, from this day on, in my eyes, ain't no coming back from this. You a bitch. And I'm not going to take your membership. I'm not going to take your membership because of $20. Your disrespect, it ain't going to disappear. But I'm not going to take your membership from this club over $20, you know? And I ain't going to fuck somebody up who ain't even showing no response to holding their own. All this shit I just did to you, man, let me know where the fuck you really at. You a bitch. And so, does this type of language happen in motorcycle clubs? Yes, it does. Yes. Could this have been avoided? Yes. You know? And so, I tell him, you can either excuse yourself for the day or you can take part in this day. And so we carried on. But of course, he was set back within his emotions, but still exercising programming of how we move as a club. That situation happened. Now fast forward down the road some more. Started to notice that you'll notice it in these clubs when somebody starts to just run completely out of gas, especially when they were a show-faced person. They will move shit around. They always there, you know, and contributing on things that need to be contributed to financially. They there coming up with, you know, if they got it, a cool idea, you know, and showing up. And you'll know when those people start to run out of gas. And like I tell people, the way you keep something, the way you keep it is the same way you got it. The way you keep it is the same way you got it. So it came to the point where now we need to have a meeting directly regarding this person. And so we have a club meeting. And matter of fact, before this club meeting, there was a slight situation of disrespect, a slight situation. Okay. And so that's what caused the meeting. Now, at this meeting, I tell him, you've exhausted every inch of me giving you a pass with your disrespectful bullshit, whether that be you sober or drunk. You've exhausted it. So what I'm going to tell you today is, you ever slightly disrespect me at any capacity, I'm going to fuck you up on the spot. And I'm saying this knowing I'm going to jeopardize everything that I've been working on in life and building because of some punk bitch motherfucker who ain't got his shit together. So you can either tell yourself, You can tell yourself, he ain't gonna never touch me. Why? Because I ain't gonna never put myself in that position again. Because truthfully, that's the only problem, was the disrespect, which is a big problem. So he could have told himself, and I told him, here's what I told him. I said, you can tell yourself that shit don't apply to you, because you ain't gonna never put yourself or me in that position again. And the apology is gonna happen. It's right there. You're gonna apologize. Sorry about that. And it ain't gonna never happen again. And we can keep rocking and rolling and moving forward. Or you don't have confidence in yourself, and you know it's best that you drop your colors and step, because you know you don't have confidence in yourself. In addition to that, it's a coward move. That means you've come here to run over as much as you can, being disrespectful, and at the same time kissing ass. Not kissing ass, but at the same time, handling duties, but being disrespectful. Handling duties, but being uncool about a lot of shit. But yet when shit confronted you, now we're going to see the coward. So for you to lay down your colors and step, that means you was just here to take advantage of everything you could until confronted. And I see that as a bitch move. So now that I'm confronting you, I'm just simply telling you again, I ain't kicking you out the club for all this shit that you've done. But what I'm telling you is, you ever disrespect me again, I'm just telling you, man, I'm gonna lose my shit to the fullest. And you just not gonna make it. I'm gonna tell you that. And I'm not going home. So with ease, in a coward type way, he laid his colors down. And at that moment, coming from the streets in your head, you just want to whoop a motherfucker's ass, But me and my club, we stand on pride and respect for ourselves, and so be it. Told him exactly, get all your shit, surrender it right back right now. Every fucking thing you got, surrender it right back. That happened, and he moved on. Okay. Shortly after, I get somebody that told me, hey, I think I seen such and such somewhere with such and such. And I was like, oh, okay, right on. And so I called this organization. I said, hey, I just wanted to touch base with you, man, And so he says, oh, yeah, man, I was going to give you a buzz, but, yeah, he just around, and we don't do nothing without, reaching out. If it decides to really go that way. I said, okay. For me, the reason was this was a club that I had high respects for. Okay. And I'm like, what the fuck would these cats have interest in this fucking weenie fucking motherfucker? And so recently, I seen that he was patched in. And I said to myself, there's the disappointment I was saying. I had more respect for that nation. But to see how some of these clubs are just grabbing anybody now, it just disappointed me. You know? Now, could he perform better in that club? Let's just say possibly. But I'm going to believe people don't change, they make modifications. People do not change, they make modifications. Am I jealous or hateful? No. Point blank, I hope that's a fit for him. I'm just, when I started this, disappointed that the respect for the lifestyle of the club courtesy, and all I wanted to do was exercise that part, club to club, you know. But unfortunately, some people in these cases, you then learn how that other club truly feels about you when they don't give you that courtesy call. That's where it comes in, the truth. And now that club only hears that person. So then I say to myself, you know, they deserve that. They deserve that, you know. And I say all that because it lets me know what I could possibly be walking into when if I was to dissolve my club to go to another club. You know, you can't run from the drama. You can't run from a potential bad seed coming through any club. And that's why in this club life, you see cats who will never have respect for certain people because we know who the fuck that person really is not. We know who the fuck they really not, you know? So to take so much of what I've learned in this lifestyle to reinvent my club is what I'm doing. And what I've seen in people that I do not want to, you know, deal with anymore because I've learned what a lot of stuff looks like. I could say this. Not too long ago, I had somebody who was prospecting. This person had the absolute worst case of halitosis I've ever experienced in my life. In my life, they took up like a 6 feet perimeter of the worst smell you could ever fucking smell coming out of their mouth. And on the last day of dealing with this person through their prospect, of seeing it's not going to work out, I finally looked into their mouth when I was talking to them, and I saw the most disgusting mouth I've ever seen in my life. Didn't even know somebody's mouth can look like that. It just looked like thick white brown foam was all in their mouth. And this person, you know, was, and again, that was sent. So again, I can recognize what I'm not going to deal with anymore. I want to deal with men with respect and class. And this is what I will not budge from. This is the only way One Down will continue to stay a respected club that moves with class, and we stay in our own lane. I hope people watch this long enough to watch this entire thing, you know. But I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. I will possibly be introducing something under the umbrella of One Down that I've never done before. that I've never done before. Okay. But people in these clubs, they do move around. If anybody comes to my club that was from another club, yes, I will look into it. If there's a club out there, hear this. If there's a club out there that is looking to dissolve and everybody's going to break up, but y'all still got life in y'all, contact me. Okay. Contact me. This is your YouTube or Facebook, but just go to onedownmc.com. The number one, DOWNMC.com. Click contact and just fill it out, and it's going to get right to me. My objective is to rebuild this motorcycle club with class and to rebuild it with respectful people, to rebuild it with people who know about the bullshit and ain't with it. And if you don't know about the bullshit, we going to keep you from it. Okay? So thank y'all. This is my longest podcast ever. I did 2 hours and 15 minutes. But this is long because this really means something to me. I have to rebuild this motorcycle club for all reasons. I want to provide something for people to have fun. I want to provide that club that ain't involved with the bullshit. Okay? Point blank, a fun club that moves on respect. That's it. You can handle your private life. You can handle your responsibilities. This is a club. We fellowship on Sunday. You can have your Saturdays with your woman, your wife, your family, your kids. You know, Sunday, make it club day. That's the funnest day. So thank y'all for, man, staying locked in with me for this 2 hours and 15 minutes. And there's a lot more to this, but I just didn't want to say it all. I can't, you know. But for those who do take interest in coming this way, you know, it will be absolutely the best motorcycle club you ever was taking membership in, and the funnest time you ever had, you know, in this lifestyle. You know what? I said I was going to show a picture of James. Let me show y'all a picture of him. You know, and this is beautiful because, you know, I love to see, you know, the support, man, you know, just people who got love for you. And that means something. So thank you, brother. Right there. That's right. That's right. And yeah, he's all the way in Atlanta. Much love, brother. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he's 6'8" or 6'5" or 6 or something like that. My relative said, give him a DP, man. That's right. Not you, but talking about the other situation. Thank you, Spot Bill. But yeah, James, man, thank you for the love. And let me remove that. But yeah, so put the word out there. If you know anybody that's looking for a motorcycle club, okay, Southern California, the closer they are to Riverside, the better. If not, I'm just assuming max 2 hours away, you know, for you to still come in, you know. But and again, your membership is solid, you know. If you beyond that 2 hours, but you built to just, you know, get that ride in Sunday and come back, but for sure, mandatory, you know. We're not in competition with, you know, nothing about, oh man, they don't ride out the state. Well, we got a good brotherhood and we all love each other and we all get along and we ain't fucking dogging each other's name out in front of people, you know. But I want to build this club and rebuild it And please put the word out there. You see some righteous people, you see somebody that's a good person in their club, and you know that they got about to step out and they don't fucking know where to go, let them know about One Down MC. Carlos Jones, come out to Ensenada for some tacos. I got you. Right on. Terrell, thank you. Yeah, so I hope this message reaches a lot of people. I hope it reaches everybody. And again, I say this, much love and respect to the entire motorcycle set. All clubs are different, but we all have to get along. And there's a club out there for everybody. For everybody. And this is a club that is extremely unique in its programming and its design. And it's very fitting for a certain type of man. Very fitting for a certain type of man. And we're a private club. We don't put our business in the streets. We don't like getting caught up with other people's shenanigans. And we stick to ourselves. But we do pay respect to the lifestyle, and we do pay respect to clubs, And for this club to have built a friendship with, a certain amazing club out there, that says a lot, a whole lot, And that's how we operate. We just keep it cool with everybody. So thank y'all. I'm going to let y'all go. And happy Thursday and Sunday Fun Day. We going to be out enjoying ourselves. So thank y'all for tuning in, man. Thank you very much. And you will see the progress of this club more sooner than later. All right, y'all. Much love. Thank you. Peace.
So say good night to the bad guy. Come on. The last time you're going to see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you. Come on. Make way for the bad guy here. There's a bad guy coming through. Better get out of his way. So say good night to the bad guy.